Okay, perfect. So if you're new coach, if you're a coach who just kind of feels stuck, if you just don't know what to do, like if you're hitting Success Club 5 consistently, but you're struggling enrolling coaches, or maybe you want to start striving for hitting Success Club 10 every month, you get to a point in your business where you need to take that step to the next level, that to make your goal bigger, to make those big, scary goals. And it starts out hitting Success Club 5, and then hitting Success Club 5 and hitting Emerald, and then hitting Success Club 10 and adding 2 more coaches to secure your Emerald. And then from month 3 on, my expectation for you on this team is to be hitting Success Club 5 at least, but pushing for Success Club 10 and pushing for Diamond. So once you're Emerald, if this is a business to you, if you have this, whether it's to earn $500 a month or $300 a month or $2,000 a month, Diamond is going to help you get there. Now, how fast you get there and what your income is depends on what you're doing in the meantime. So I tell you that because you all have different goals. You all have different visions and different reasons for why you're here. But the day-to-day activities do not change. The day-to-day activities of a new coach to me being a 3-star coach are the exact same thing. The only difference is I've been doing it consistently for 2 years. You're brand new, or you've been here a month, or you've been here 2 months. So that's number one thing, consistency. You're doing the same activities as every elite coach, every Brittany Leggett, every Lindsay Matway, every Meg Wazinski. You're doing the same exact things as a new coach as they are. They've just been in the game a lot longer than I've been. Some of them. Brittany Leggett's a little iffy. But they're doing the same things. So when I hear you guys, you're struggling, or you just don't know what to do, or you just feel stuck, you need to go back to the basics and be doing your power hour. You need to be adding to your network 3 people every single day, at least 3 people. Now, what I do, and if you were on the Strive for Summit call, you might have heard this, but I get my new people from my like page, because I promote my like page. If you don't have a like page, or you have a like page but you're not promoting it, go to your posts and look at your posts. And if you have 15 people that liked that post, hover over it, see who liked it. Sometimes they're the most random people. Like I have people that like my post, but they don't necessarily like my page. So they could be a friend of a friend, or they could have just stumbled upon your page because it's in someone's newsfeed or whatever. So don't count out the likes from your posts, but building your network and making sure you're doing that. Number 2 that I want you to focus on when you're feeling stuck is making sure, and Meg's been talking to us a lot about this in our Diamond group. It's called Jab, Jab, Hook. Have you guys ever heard that book? There's a personal development called Jab, Jab, Hook, I think is the exact reference or title. But what this means is that you should be doing little jabs. So talking about 21-Day Fix, but not necessarily doing a challenge group post. Sharing your recipes. I had a great one the other night. I had my fajitas I had my fajitas, I had Matt's fajitas, and I had the color containers right above it, and I made it look as pretty as I can. And I took a picture, and I talked about how, a lot of the times that women don't want to be on meal or do something like this is because they don't want to cook so many different meals for the family. That chicken fajitas, my kids, we all ate. And it was 21-Day Fix Extreme approved for me, and my husband was satisfied, my kids were satisfied. So that's considered a jab. Is Meg on here? Am I on Meg's? I hope I'm not on Meg's account. I'm not. Is she on here? Oh, Sarah, you're logged in on Meg. That's why. That really freaked me out. I was like, she's in San Francisco. How is she on this call? How does she even know? Okay, so those are little jabs, sharing like what coaching is doing for you and how coaching has changed your life, and not necessarily call to actions and inviting people to the opportunity, but giving those little jabs, like those little like, wow, like oh, you hit them right in the gut, or they're paying attention. You've got their attention of what these little colored containers are, or what Shakeology is, what's in her shaker cup, what workouts are she doing. Sometimes I don't even, you don't have to blab the workout that you're doing. It's PIO and 21-day fix, but a quick, effective plyometric workout, or a fast-paced yoga workout that makes you long and lean. Keep names out so people aren't just like, oh, she's just Beachbody. Oh, she's just Beachbody. But putting those little jabs in there about your product, about your lifestyle, so that way when you do your right hook, aka your challenge group post, your coaching invite, your Shakeology shake-up post, a free group even, they have something that they've already been seeing. They already have little tidbits and little sneak peeks as to what they're getting themselves into. So it's not a complete, oh my gosh. So you have to be making sure you're sharing and being a product of the product. That's one of our vital behaviors. If you're not sharing that you are following the 21-day fix plan, or doing a workout that's been helpful for you, or sharing what Shakeology has done for you, or sharing what coaching has done for you, each one of those at least one time a week, what are you inviting people to? They have no idea what you're talking about. They have no idea. Cool, I'm going to do a challenge group for 21 days, but I have no idea what that's doing. So when I invite people and when I'm talking to people about my challenge groups, they already know what I'm doing. I don't have to, I explain the program in a little bit more detail, but they know what to expect because I'm being a product of the product. I'm sharing with them what they're going to learn in my group, what they're going to get in their program kit, and things like that. So I really talking with you guys on how to hit Success Club and things like that this week. I know Success Club is a huge thing. Don't get me wrong. Success Club builds your business. It is your business. It's a big deal. But the only way you hit Success Club is if you're doing those 3 vital behaviors. You can't skip them. You can't expect to invite if you're not being a product of the product. You can't expect to invite if you're not doing personal development, because you're going to be really hard to connect to. You're going to be focusing on the numbers instead of the relationship. So you have to be sharing those jabs and those right hooks, even personal development, to make sure that when you throw that right hook, they already know what they're getting into. They already know how the results you're getting, the community that you are with coaching. This was a huge wake-up call for me with the coaching side of it and sharing what coaching has done for me, because I was always so focused on my challenge groups that I never really started posting about coaching and what I was doing. But then when I started posting about these team calls and winning stuff every month for Success Club, and getting on calls with Carl, and going to breakfast with Carl, and doing the Success Club retreat with Meg, and talking about those opportunities that I earned, I can't tell you how many more people, when I talk to them about coaching, go, I want what you have, or I see what you're doing with your team, and that's really awesome. I see your team is rank advancing. I see your team hitting Success Club. But if I wouldn't have been doing all those little jabs and sharing about coaching and being a leader and the passion I have for that now, I wouldn't have that same connection with them. They wouldn't know what they were signing on to when they signed on as a coach on my team. But they do, because I'm sharing it on my Facebook page, on my page, and I'm giving them those little jabs. So does anybody have questions about that? If you need, I don't know, do you have questions? Can I clarify anything? Does that help? I can see your faces, so you can nod, you can shake. Yeah? Okay. The next thing that I wanted to talk to you, so consistency, making your jabs, and the next thing, and this was kind of on the wake-up call, but it hit home for me, is being intentional. When you sit down for your power hour, you need to be intentional about what you're doing. And I think it was Melanie Mitchell who said, before she even opens up her computer, before she even opens up her laptop, she is writing down her to-do list, and she's going, okay, what am I going to accomplish when I open my computer? whose life am I going to change today? Who am I going to connect with today? And what am I going to accomplish for my business? You can't just open your computer or hop on your phone wherever you do your power hour and go, okay, let's just see what happens. You have to zero in and know what you're doing during that power hour. You have to be intentional about it. So let me kind of break down like what I do for my month, and then I'm going to tell you what I do for my day. I'm going to keep it short, but just so you guys know. So my intentions the first 2 weeks of the month is to hit Success Club 10. The 2 weeks, that's my intentions. Every single time I open that computer, my intentions are connecting with people about my challenge groups, inviting to my challenge groups, focusing on the challenge packs, and focusing on helping those people. So my intentions when I open the computer are not to look for coaches, to not recruit people. It's who can I help today and who needs my help with nutrition and fitness. And those are the people that I'm going to connect with. So that's the first 2 weeks. My intentions are to focus in on my challenge groups and to hitting Success Club 10 with just my challenge packs for my challenge group. The last 2 weeks of the month, my intentions are on my team. It's on my coaching business. I've hit my Success Club 10 goal. I can breathe about that. Now I'm going to hit Success Club 20 because now I'm going to enroll 5 coaches. Now I'm going to focus on enrolling and focusing on recruiting for those 2 full weeks. I'm going to focus on recruiting, and I'm going to continue focusing to help you guys recruit for your team and to hit Success Club. That's my focus. Those are my intentions when I get into the computer the second 2 weeks. You have to be intentional about what you're doing, and you have to invite with an intent attitude. And she talked about that so good on Monday. I will admit I got off the call and I was like, nah, that was okay. But then I was thinking about it, and I was thinking in my business, where can I be more intentional? And that's definitely in recruiting. I can definitely put more focus in more like, okay, this is my intentions. I want to do this. This is what I'm going to focus on. And I'm going to go from there. But you have to be intent about it. And when you're intent and you're focused on it, good things are going to happen. Like, it kind of goes with you can't be afraid to hear no. You just got to know what your goals are and what you need to do for your business and let things fall as they may. So that's how my month is. Like, those are my intentions for my month. Now, I kind of chatted with Kim about this last week in our one-on-one. And so I hope this is helpful for everybody. When I sit down for my computer work, like, you guys, it is power hour is power hour. It is nothing but a power hour. I'm not on there to scroll through Facebook. I'm not on there to scroll through my challenge groups. I'm not on there to diddle daddle in the coach office because that gets sucked into. I'm there to do my power hour, to build my business. And I can't think of a better week to focus on this because on Monday, some of you know I have a babysitter 2 days a week. So that allows me 8 hours in the morning to get my stuff done, talk to you guys, dive in a little bit deeper and do, trainings and videos and shout outs and things like that for you guys. But she is 35 weeks pregnant and she's been chasing around my 2 twins. And she's been amazing, but she is now, she's 35 weeks in. And so we decided that Monday was her last day. So now I'm going, oh my gosh, like, how am I going to do this? Like, I see the growth that's happened since I've hired her. What am I going to do now? So now my power hours are very, very crucial because they are going down to just nap time and maybe some time at night. So when I get into the computer the last few days, and today I think I had a mental block because I was like, I'm just kind of freaking out. But all the more, like, I can say this with like 110% conviction. I opened that computer and I knew what I needed to do. I knew I needed to add to my network. I knew I needed to do my follow-ups or my messages. I knew I needed to make sure I followed up with coach prospects from the last, few days of talking. And I knew I needed to check my coach online office because it's a Wednesday. And so things I'll renew tomorrow. So I knew I needed to do those 4 things. And I knew I needed to schedule a Shakeology shake-up post. So I knew 5 things I needed to do in, my 2-hour span and my lack of focus. Like, I didn't want to do anything. but I did. I opened my computer and I was intentional about what I was going to get done. I knew what I needed to get done and I got it done. Everything was scheduled. Everything is taken care of. And that was such a good feeling because it was done. My power hour was done. And it's so easy in this business to think that you have to do more, do more, do more, do more, do more, do more, do more. You don't have to do more. You don't have to do more stuff. You just need to do quality stuff. And if you take the time to be intentional with that power hour of adding to your network, checking in with your customers, doing your follow-ups, and, making sure being intentional with your business. So I knew my focus and knew what I was going to do so I could plan ahead for it. I typed up my post. I created a cute picture. I scheduled it for tonight. Before we got on this call, I went into my like page. I pushed publish. It's done. It's running. It's good. And I have to stress about it because I already did it this morning. So be intentional with your power hour. Know what you're going to accomplish in that power hour. If you get through that hour and you have more time, then hop in your Coach Online office and look at a training. Then, add 3 or 4 more people. Then get on, your news feed and kind of comment and and interact with people in a social way on that way. Then create your, do your something extra, your something more. But you don't have to spend 3 hours diddle-daddling on Facebook. You're not going to catch me doing that. You're going to catch me. I have an hour. I'm getting my stuff done in an hour, and the other stuff I'll schedule at a later date. But knowing what I have coming up and making sure that I have a game plan and I know my game plan. Any questions about that? Does that make sense? Does that help? Does that kind of clear some stuff? Okay. So I'm just going to chat about what Carl kind of chatted with us on the call today. It was super short. It was 20 minutes from him. But I did come in contact with a new guy. His name is Paul, and he does diamond training and works with people who want to become diamonds and want to be 1-star diamonds. So I am going to be reaching out to him hopefully tonight, maybe tomorrow. It's on my to-do list, and just seeing what that entails and what all. I've never heard of it before. So I'm going to do some research in that. I'm telling you that because almost every single one of you on this call has told me at some point or another that diamond is, if you're my personally sponsored coach anyway, diamond is on your radar. So I'm going to check with him and see what we can do to help those who are diamond do 1-star. And for those who want to go diamond, see if there's a training or something that we can get plugged into. So one thing that Carl really said on the call that was really cool was he said one of his objectives for June was to get on our websites and to make sure they're up to his liking and things that he would prefer to see and hear. And he said he got on there on Saturday morning at 6 a.m. and he was fishing around. He goes, I saw typos, I saw success stories that I didn't really think were that successful and that I know of more. And, I was seeing recipes and this and that, that I wouldn't put up there. And he's like, it just blew me away. He goes, but then I sat there and I remembered he goes, I was thinking whose job is it to do this stuff? And then he sat there and he goes, it's my job. I'm the leader of this company. It's my job. And so what he said was leadership is finding the little things and doing those things daily to know that the leader is working as hard as, he says, employees, but he said, think about it in the mindset of a coach. I'm the CEO of my team, of my fitness business. So I need you guys to know that I'm doing those little things so that you know to do those little things. And it was really cool that he said that even leaders are doing those little things that you don't think are a big deal, or that you can just say oh, well, when I hit diamond, I don't have to do that. Or when I hit 2-star, I don't have to do that anymore. And that's not true. When you're a leader, it's even more important for you to continue to do those little things because now you have eyes on you. You have people watching what you're doing and learning from you. So I thought that was a really cool thing. The other thing that I thought was cool and can be really infectious is he goes, all it takes is one coach to say, ugh, this isn't working for me, or I'm really frustrated with this, or, life is just, I just can't, I'm not motivated in my workouts. I'm not motivated in my power hour. And then what that leads to is whoever they're talking to going, oh my gosh, I know, like, this happened with my coach and I'm so frustrated and I lost my rank and now I'm not going to do this and now I'm not going to do that. And then that coach goes to another coach and it's just this trickle effect. And all of a sudden, everyone in this chain of communication is nagging on one thing that is going wrong instead of talking about the blessings that are coming. So he said, it's our job to diffuse the situation, to be that one person that's going to say something different when someone's complaining or when someone's whining. Your job is to diffuse the situation. And are you going to experience the hard times? Are you going to experience the hard times and do them anyway? Or are you going to experience the hard times and complain about them and blame them for the reasons that you're not being successful? You have a choice when things get hard, when customer service is crapping, when coaches quit, when people say no, when people return Shakeology, when people get messed up orders. What's your attitude going to be? Are you going to come in and say like, like customer service this or customer service that, or, whatever. And, we've all been there, but at that opportunity, we have a choice to experience the hard and come out on top and do what we can, or, and do it the hard way, or we can be that negative Nelly and like come up with 1,000 reasons as to why we're not being successful and it's everyone else's fault but our own. So the other thing that he talked about was, do you have the hustle? So June, if you don't know, is all about turning diamond and getting to diamond, because Carl's making June diamond month. If you go diamond this month, you get a really cool shirt. I posted it in the Drive to Diamond group, but I'll post it in the team page too so you guys can see it. It's signed by Carl, and he goes, when he was talking about it, he was like, there's going to be over 30,000 coaches at Summit. If you're walking around and you don't have this shirt on, I'm not going to recognize you. I'm not going to know who you are. But if you have the shirt on, I'm going to come say hi to you. I'm going to congratulate you. And I'm going to know that you're working this business because you earned that shirt in June. So he goes, Darren Oline, the guy who does all the coach announcements, super cool. And his voice is the exact same in person. It's really creepy. But he goes, he doesn't know it yet, but those will be out before Summit. So I don't know how they're going to do that. But if you rank advanced in June to Diamond, you will have your shirt by Summit. So if you're going to Summit and you want to hit Diamond, you'll have that shirt. Carl's going to make it happen. He goes, I'll hire people if I have to. But he goes, I want those who work their butt off in June to be able to be recognized by wearing that shirt at Summit. So, do you have the hustle? Have you earned your shirt? Do you want to earn your shirt so he can spot you at Summit? I thought that was a really cool thing. And if you have never heard Carl speak, I really encourage you to find a national wake-up call that he's done in the past. He's just super passionate, super down to earth, and just, he wears jeans and a button-up when he gives his speeches. Like he's very down to earth. He's very laid back. He's very cool. I had breakfast with him in Cancun, and he is just as real and just authentic. And he wants to see us succeed. He wants everyone to be a 15-star diamond. He wants everyone to be in the Millionaires Club. Like that's what his dream is, and that's what he wants for this company. And speaking of, he said, and this was really cool, and I hope this sticks with you guys, we are the superheroes for Carl's vision. We are the vehicle that's making his dream come true. We are those people to him. He wants to see us succeed, and he wants us to be those superheroes, to save those people's lives, because that's our job. Like we're his superheroes. And I love that he called us that. I thought that was really, really cool, because his dream wouldn't be true if we didn't have coaches. If we didn't have us out there in the trenches, as he keeps calling it, doing the dirty work and doing all this, his dreams wouldn't come true. Corporate's job wouldn't, their jobs wouldn't be there. So we really are the vehicles to this company. Like, we're it. And he's like, I want every person that's associated with Beachbody to be a positive experience and to be seeing their weight loss and energy and life change through these programs. And if they're not, like, send the programs back. Like, that's why we have the 30-day guarantee. That's why we have it, because Beachbody backs it up. So if your customers and your coaches are not seeing those results, have them send their programs and products back. Car's like, I don't need someone who has the programs and products but not seeing results. Like, I want the people that have the programs and products to be seeing results. So just kind of keep that in mind when you sit down for your power hour, when you sit down with intention for your power hour. Like, you're a superhero. Like, you are doing something that a lot of people say no to right away. You decided to say yes. So what are you going to do now that you have said yes? Now that you've agreed to this opportunity and you know the steps you need to take and you know what you need to be doing daily, consistency, jabs, and doing right hooks, and being intentional about your power hour and being a superhero when you sit down. Are you going to own those things? Are you going to do those things? And I hope you can say yes. So that's what I have for you as far as, like, just kind of what you guys should be focusing on. And as a leader, and where Carl kind of pumped us up, and it's just really meaningful to hear him talk. The last thing I want to close on is what they opened with. I missed who it was talking, but it wasn't Carl. You can't be successful by putting one foot on the pedal for a little bit and then taking your foot off the gas pedal, and then putting your foot on the brake, and then taking a break for a week and a half, and then putting your foot on the gas pedal again, and then putting a break, and then putting the gas pedal, and then putting a break, and then putting the gas pedal. You can't, when you get to Success Club 5, go, okay, I hit Success Club 5, I'm going to stop. And it's June 10th. Like, no, keep your foot on the gas. Keep going. Keep doing what you're doing, because that's how things build. I don't have an off week. I don't have a week where I'm just like, I hit Success Club 36, I'm done. No, I'm still on the computer every day. I'm still connecting. I'm still inviting. I'm doing those things every day. My foot is on the gas. Sometimes, it gets let up a little bit, but it's never a break. You can't be successful if you're going gas, brake, gas, brake, gas, brake. You have to keep your foot on the gas. You don't always have to go 100 miles an hour, but you have to keep your foot on the gas. You have to keep going. You have to push through. And that's when you're going to see success. Whether it's your weight loss or a Success Club or a rank advancement or an income goal or whatever, you can't go for 2 days, not seeing what you thought you should be seeing after 2 days, and then put a break on it. Go for a week, and then go, I'm still not getting any engagement. I still don't have anyone who wants to commit to my challenge group, so I'm just going to put a break on it. All that does is slow down your progress. All that does is put you back to square one, because now you've taken 4 days off and people are like, well, where'd she go? Just when your momentum was starting to catch up. So you have to keep your foot on the gas. You have to keep going forward to see results. Oh, does anyone have questions? We'll leave the line open for like a few more minutes if you guys have questions. You can go ahead and unmute if you have a question.
Okay. Yeah, I have 2 questions for you, Brittany. The first one is, so we have the Power of 3 form, and on there it says to reach out to coaches every day, and also like messaging, like continuing like all those kind of like tasks that you want to complete in your day. But if a person, like, I like the idea of you reach out to filling up your challenge groups, hitting Success Club first in the first 2 weeks, and then focusing on coaches the second 2 weeks. Still be inviting people to the coaching opportunity those first 2 weeks, or do you just sort of leave that part blank in the Power of 3?
I don't fill out a Power of 3. I like the way I have my bat. It's effective for me. So I did the Power of 3 during Rank in the Bank. And I liked it. It's a good method. I think it's great for when you're first starting out. I think it gets it in those habits. But because my business is structured the way it is every month, I'm focusing on challenge groups the first 2 weeks. So I'm not doing, I say that because I'm not doing coaching posts.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not running sneak peeks. I'm not doing coaching calls. Like, I'm not doing that stuff. So I'm not inviting to it, but I'm not going to like not talk to someone or a challenge group person from last month. You know, I'll talk to them about it during that time, but I'm not going to be doing any posts or any extra to that. It might just be more one-on-one invitations. Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure. Just one more question. So you know how like on Facebook we should like probably post like between like, I've heard all kinds of different things like 3 to 5, you know, and depending like if you have your personal page and your like page, like I'm just curious what you do. Like, do you have kind of like, okay, I'm going to do 2 on my like page, 2 on my personal page? Like, do you have, or do you just sort of just random?
It's probably more random because my day is random.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes it's very like this week, I don't feel like it's been very good content, and it's just more like, okay, I'm going to quick post a motivational photo. So I guess to answer your question is I try 3 times a day on my like page, and it's usually a faith-based post or like a life thinking post, a workout focus post, and then a food focus post. So if I get nothing else in that day, I've hit like my 3 topics, which are, you know, faith, food, and fitness. Now that might be motivation. It might be talking about a workout. It might be just something. But I've hit like what my page represents. And then if I want, like I've been doing like before I go to bed or like mid-afternoon when I do my personal development, just taking like a quote that I've read that really stuck with me and just posting that on my like page, just to kind of give a thought for a day without a big photo, without a lot of words, but just a quick read. Personal page, I do more of my personal stuff. So I might post like a workout photo or like a meal, like it's just very random. But usually it's more like the kids or Matt and I, or, you know, today I posted about the call with Carl, but I didn't post that on my like page. That stuff doesn't get traction for me on my like page, but on my personal page, I get a lot. So I don't know if that helps answer your question, but okay, cool. Anyone else? No questions? You guys, no one has a question. If I open my inbox tomorrow and I see 10 questions.
I think Kimberly had one. She typed it up at the top there.
I don't see it. Oh.
I can read it to you. Do you see it?
Mm-hmm. Kim, I tried to send you a video, but it was too big, so I couldn't send it. But it'll help you with this question. It was my thing that I was going to help you do yesterday, but I can't get it into one video. I'm just not tech savvy, so I have to upload it to YouTube and then send you the link. Anyways, so my message inbox is usually 20 or more at a time. It just depends. So what I do is, for me, like that is my power hour, because and Kim, you have limited time when you're doing your power hour too. So if I take an hour to add to my network and just get through my messages, I'm okay with that, because having inboxes stresses me out. Like, I can quick check my Coach Online Office. I can check Coach Active status. I can check your guys' Success Club points and if I got orders and stuff on my phone pretty easily. But I can't always respond to messages intently when I'm on the run. So if I have to spend my power hour just adding my network and getting through my messages, like, I'm mentally completely fine with that. So what I do is I add to my network, I go into my messages, I click on, there's like a little, what's it called? I want to make sure I call it the right thing. So I go to my messages. Number one, I don't have a newsfeed on my computer. So when I log in, my newsfeed is gone. Like, I don't ever see my newsfeed. So if you haven't done that yet, I highly recommend it. Your productivity level is going to go crazy. So I click on my messages, and then I click the More tab with the arrow, and I click on the unread messages. And so only the messages that are unread are going to pop up. And then I scroll all the way down to the bottom. So that way when I'm answering the first message, I can see like okay, like I'm looking at my inbox right now. So like the first person I don't have to answer right now. So I'm going to go to the second person. Awesome. She wants to watch a coaching webinar. So I'm going to click on her and I'm going to answer her message. I'm going to answer that message. Then I'm going to go to the person above her and I'm going to say, no, I can answer that later. I can answer that later. I can answer that later. Nope, I'm going to answer that one because she is a person I sent $1 to and she's messaging me back. So I want to know about her. I want to give her some of my time. So I don't just go to my messages and go and answer every single one of them. I prioritize them first because if for some reason the kids wake up, I want to make sure that the people that are interested in my challenge groups and in my coaching and asking and my customers are getting my time first before I'm just answering random questions about my kids' names. Like that can wait when I'm forming someone. So during my power hour, I focus on that. Does that help? Okay.
Yes, that helps very much, except I'm really, can you hear me?
Now I can.
That helps a lot. Thank you. I'm just really upset because my husband just came in and I was like trying to focus and like listen to you. And I'm like, get out of here. So now I'm going to have to listen to the dang recording.
No, I just, when I go into my messages, I prioritize them. I don't go in and say, okay, I'm just going to answer all 25 of these messages. I'm going to go all the way down to the bottom and I'm going to read the little bit of each one. And you know, like who you're waiting to hear back from a challenge group or who you've talked to about coaching or, I mean, you should know those names kind of like if you've been talking to them recently. So like there's a lady in there. She messaged me about an hour ago. Yes, I want to watch the webinar. Perfect. So right when I get off this call, you bet your butt I'm going into my, to get the team webinar, what is coaching call link, and I'm going to send that to her. Like that's a priority message for me. I'm not going to wait till tomorrow power hour to do it. I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to go through and I'll see before I go to bed tonight, like who do I need to answer tonight? Like where am I at in that relationship with that person that I need to make sure I'm prioritizing my time with them. There's messages in there that are like, oh, sweet, what are your kids' names? Or, you know, where do you live? Or how's Florida? Or whatever. Like, they're important because I'm forming those relationships, but they're not anything that can't wait until tomorrow when I want to, you know, get off this and I'm going to answer those prioritizing messages. I'm going to read my personal development and I'm going to get a good night's sleep because I'm going to wake up at 5 a.m. and work out. And I can answer those messages tomorrow morning when the kids eat breakfast or something, you know. So.
Would you say 24 hours is the longest you'll wait for a message or like let it sit there?
No, there's some days where there's like 3 days or 4 days. Sometimes there's a week. It depends on the week. You know, if I'm focusing on my challenge groups and I've done a challenge group post, like there might be messages that sit in there for 3 or 4 days because I'm answering the challenge group messages versus someone's like I said, like, oh, what are your kids' names? Or I have 2 kids too. Like, it's not that it's not important. It's just there's other people that are ready to take my time and take their fitness to the next level that I'm at with this person.
So even though it drives you nuts to have messages in your inbox, you don't empty it every night?
No. You can't. I'd go crazy. I'd literally be answering messages all day. Like I just emptied my inbox and there's 20 plus messages again, you know? So it's like I'd be doing power hours all day. And so that's why like prioritizing your messages is so key because you don't want to be sitting here answering 60 messages a day, but maybe I'm only answering 20 of those a second time tonight. You know what I mean? Like, so I like to do a wrap up before I go to bed and make sure that people that like, they messaged me, what is it, Tuesday night. So I messaged them back Wednesday morning. They're messaging me tonight. Like I'll get on and I'll just kind of take it to the next step. And I guess my mindset and something that I don't know why, but it just sticks with me. Like if I can take that extra 15 minutes now, how much further am I moving my business by spending that just extra 15 minutes? If I send 3 people my What is Coaching call link tonight, like that's 3 people that I connected to about coaching that have my webinar. That's 3 people that I'm closer to getting 1 or 2 people enrolling as a coach versus waiting until tomorrow afternoon when then they're not going to be able to watch it until Thursday. So now they're watching it Thursday, and now it's Friday and I'm following up with them, and it's a Friday. So now I'm really not connecting with them until Monday, you know? So it's like, if I can take the extra 15 minutes and invest in answering those prioritized messages, how much further is that moving my business? How much faster is that moving my business? I guess that's kind of how I've thought about it. And I think that's like a good thought. Like, are you doing things that are moving your business forward, or are you just doing things that are just to do for your business? I mean, there's a lot of filler stuff that we can do as Beachbody coaches to fill our time and to say like, oh my gosh, like I just did all of this. But how many of those extra activities are moving your business forward? The only way your business moves forward is by building relationships with new people, building relationships with your customers, and building relationships with your coaches. That's how your business moves forward. Because without the relationships, like, you're not going to join a challenge group. And if you don't join a challenge group, it's really hard for you to see the value in the product. And if you don't see the value in the product, or I'm not having a relationship with you, it's going to be really hard for you to join my team. And once you're joining my team, like, I need to make sure we have that relationship so that if you feel stuck or I sense that like something's going on, like, we have a relationship where I can connect with you and I can say, hey, what's going on? And you feel comfortable with me going, I'm really stressed out right now, or I don't know what to do, or I'm stuck, or coming back and celebrating big milestones. Like, it all goes back to that relationship. No matter what level or what rank of leadership you're in, it all goes back to that relationship. Sorry, that was kind of a tangent, but
I like that.
anything else?
Yeah, I had a question about you messaging people for initial invitations to groups, like the challenge groups. Do you do that?
I do not invite via message.
Did you ever?
No. I've only done it through personal or through challenge group posts. That's not to say that personal messaging doesn't work. Some people do it and they're successful at it. I've heard a lot of top coaches say, like, I sat down and I invited 10 people via private message, and that like makes me want to throw up thinking about it.
Yeah, because it's not been successful for me, and I feel like it's wasting my time right now. I mean, I don't know. I just think I need to get better at really focusing on making these challenge posts like catchy. And
it's not the challenge group post. It's those jabs throughout the week.
Yes, that's right. I got that written down. Okay.
If those jobs are missing, if those like leading up to, like, if I know I'm going to do a challenge group post on Wednesday night, you bet your butt I'm posting about the 21-day fix containers. I'm posting about my 21-day fix workout. I'm posting about somebody who saw amazing success from my challenge group for the 3 days leading up to that challenge group post. Because all that's doing is setting the stage for, I'm just throwing out a number, Lisa.
Okay.
But, I mean, to go with that, like, I don't just go, well, tonight's a good night to post for a challenge group. Like, no. My posts are like, I think about it, how I'm going to word it, what picture am I going to use? Like, my Shakeology post, like, I spent 15 minutes on that today, like, making sure, like, the wording is right in the picture. And sometimes they still bomb. But, again, you have to be intentional with that post. You can't just go, well, I don't have anyone for my challenge group, so I'm going to do a challenge group post. Like, I mean, doing it at 2 p.m. or just like, hey, join my challenge group. Like, you're not building that relationship and getting to know them and helping them see the value of it. And 2, like, the timing of when you do it is really key. Like, you have to know when your audience is on Facebook. Are they on more at night? Are they on during the day, like morning? What time in the morning? Some people, you might have late risers. So you might have like an 8 to 10 crew where I have like a 7 to 9 crew. It just depends. That's why you have to like know your audience and know your niche and know who you're attracting so that you can create and reverse engineer your challenge group posts and pictures and timing to get to them. And that's what that June through, like 2 weeks ago, when we had that big talk because of my Success Club, and we chatted about what I was doing, all those scripts in there are exactly what I do. So if you haven't checked out those scripts, look at those scripts. And not just you, Lisa, I say you, like everyone.
Right.
If you haven't checked those out and you're struggling with Success Club, like use those documents, use those tools, use those challenge group posts, like use that all. Like I shared those tools with you, use it. Use the exact wording, but share your story, put your like spin on it to make it sound like you. And obviously your pictures.
Now, is that in your business
in the team page?
The team page is what I mean. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Fabulously Fit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm gonna look those up again. I just have a lot of documents, a lot of papers. I'm like, oh my God.
And then like just go back to like your power hour, following up, your messages, your personal development. Like it's so easy to look at this and say there's so much stuff. And like even today, like I downloaded like 6 documents that I got from a diamond group. I'm like, oh my gosh, but there's nothing that is going to move my business forward today. So I'm not going to look at it today. I'll look at it this weekend or next week or whenever.
Say those 4 things again. Power hour. What'd you say? You said 4 things, and they were awesome. I want to write them down. The power hour. What else?
Wait, I don't know. What do you do in your power hour? Your power hour, inviting, messaging, and personal development.
Yes, follow-ups. That's what it was. All right. And personal messages. Okay. Thanks.
Mm-hmm. Good?
Yeah, good.
Hey, Lisa, can you hear me?
Hey, I can.
That's what I sent you via private message yesterday. Remember when there was like little pictures of it? I shouldn't have sent the pictures. I think that confused you. But
Yeah.
I showed you it's in Fabulously Fit, and then just look in your private message, and that's right where it's at.
Awesome. Will do.
All good?
Yeah.
Thank you, Brittany.
Awesome, girls. Okay, I'm going to work on this recording. So I'm going to put that on my to-do list and figure out how the heck she does that. But thanks for hopping on. I really appreciate it. There was like 16 of you. So that's awesome. That's exciting. So yeah, we'll chat. Oh, next week we won't be able to have a call, or I won't be leading it. I'm going to reach out to a few of you to see if you want to be leading it. But we are going on vacation. So we will be in Florida Keys. Hopefully. There's 2